Hey everyone, Ian back again. You know what? It's a little bit cold outside. It's -5. It just snowed today. Like, check that out. First snow of the fall. And you know what? -5 hits totally different when it's snowing and it's in the fall compared to like -5 snow in the spring. Because you know summer's coming. But when it happens in the fall, you're like, oh no. It's gonna be at least cold and snowy for the next 4 or 5 months. If you like it, great. Me, it can be shortened down to 2 months. But anyways, cold weather means soup season for me. And king of all soup for me is the puree soup. I love taking the vegetables from the garden in the summertime, freezing them, and then pulling them out in the winter, adding them to pureed soups like cauliflower and broccoli with some cheddar cheese. So what we're gonna make today is a turmeric roasted carrot soup. We're gonna have turmeric, carrots, a healthy bone broth in there. We're gonna take a bulb of garlic and roast it. It's nice slow, make it mellow. It's gonna take that edge off that garlic. Every piece of raw garlic, you're like, ooh, that's too strong, right? That roast garlic in the oven for an hour is gonna make it so mellow and smooth and add this great depth of flavor to it. Unreal. And I'm also gonna show you one fresh ingredient that I use to enhance the flavor of my soup. It's gonna be a flavor that everyone's gonna have at their disposal. It's great, fresh, love it. At the end, I'm gonna go ahead and finish it off with a nice dairy-free coconut milk. I love adding coconut milk to these dishes. It just adds a nice smooth creaminess without all the dairy. And at the very end, I'll go ahead and show you my 4 top things I like to garnish my soup with. 4. So what are we gonna need for this? Well, we're gonna need 1 pound of carrots, 1 bulb of garlic, 1 medium onion, a couple tablespoons of olive oil, a tablespoon of turmeric powder and onion powder, 1 tablespoon of each, salt, pepper, 2 cups of bone broth. I'm using my homemade bone broth today. You know what? No shame. Go ahead, go to the store, buy broth from the container. It works great. At least you're getting that great flavor from it. If you even want to go ahead and add in that instant soup mix, awesome. And at the very end, I'm gonna add in a 1/4 cup coconut milk. And then mixed in between there, I'm gonna add in that fresh ingredient. We'll get to that. All right, so first up, what we're gonna start with is that 1 pound of carrots. I'm gonna use like those knobbly little pieces of carrots. You know when you dig up carrots and you don't have like that nice, perfect, straight, girthy carrot from the store, but you have like these knobbly ones with like the 2 legs or 3 legs. I hope I'm not throwing up any gang signs, I'm sorry. I'm gonna use those carrots in this recipe today. The small ones that can't really be used anything, I'm gonna go ahead, chop off the tops, the bottoms, get them trimmed up, throw them on the sheet pan. And right after that, I'm gonna go ahead and trim off the top of that bulb of garlic, put it in tin foil, a little drizzle of olive oil, salt and pepper in with it, close it up, put it in a sheet tray also. Next up, I'm gonna go ahead and drizzle those 2 tablespoons of olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, anything you want, right? Just so it coats the carrots nicely, gets a nice roast to it. Then I go ahead, add salt and pepper, that tablespoon of turmeric, and that tablespoon of garlic powder. Now for the secret ingredient. We can get this all at the store. And my secret ingredient today, fresh ginger. But you know what? That fresh ginger packs so much more flavor than just ground ginger, and just the smell of it. You break it open, oh, amazing. And that's what your soup's gonna smell like. Turmeric and ginger and carrots and a little bit of that bone broth. And it's cold outside and you're just like, yes, this is great. Once we got that going, I'm gonna go ahead and chop that white onion, just roughly chop it, throw it on the tray with the carrots, because you know what? It's all gonna get blended into a soup, so it doesn't matter what it looks like. Chop the onions, throw in the carrots. Take that ginger, roughly about the size of your thumb. Go ahead with a cheese grater and grate that down. Take it, sprinkle it all over your carrots. All right, so all the ingredients are in the pan. The only thing that we're missing is chicken broth and that coconut milk. And we're gonna add that later. Go ahead, take all those veggies that are on the tray, put them into the oven at 350 for 45 minutes. I'll see you back then. All right, those veggies are out, they're steaming, they're hot, they're ready to go. But how are we gonna blend it? Well, blender, right? You can definitely use a blender. This is a solid standby for everybody, right? I hope most people have a blender. It's the key to this whole process. But also, if you would like, I'm gonna go ahead and use my stick blender today. It's fast, convenient, I can leave everything in the pot. no problems. So while all those veggies are cooling down slightly, just so enough I can handle them, I'm gonna go take that chicken broth in the pot and bring it to a nice rolling simmer. Just leave it at that point. So those carrots and onions that are loaded with that ginger and turmeric and garlic powder, all that goodness is gonna go into that pot with that chicken broth, and it's gonna simmer. It doesn't have to cook too long because the broth is hot, the veggies are hot, everything's hot, it's ready to go. Just let it simmer for a couple minutes to get all melded together. Now that everything's, I'm gonna take that garlic out of the tin foil and go ahead, I'm gonna squeeze the cloves of garlic out of the bulb. No fuss, no mess. Take it with the tin foil, throw in the garbage, cleaned up. You just have one dirty tray and a dirty pot. Now that it's simmering, I'm gonna take my hand blender, I'm gonna blend till that whole soup is nice and velvety and smooth. Just great, it's gonna thicken up nicely. Next up, I'm gonna go ahead and add in that 1/4 cup coconut milk. It's gonna add that nice smooth, creamy, rich taste to the soup. Done. That's it. Soup is made. That was incredibly easy. And now the kitchen's nice and warm. Now the whole house smells of this beautiful, fragrant soup. So go ahead, spoon that soup in the bowl. Now you got this beautiful, light orange colored soup. That turmeric and ginger, roasted carrots and roasted garlic. Great. But you know what? I'm not done. I have 4 different garnishes I'm going to use for this. So, number 1 garnish, olive oil. Olive oil adds this nice fruity fragrance to your soup. Garnish number 2, feta cheese. Feta cheese is not just for Greek salads. I love adding it to my puree soups. It's delicious, just a little bit of saltiness to it. Number 3, roasted pumpkin seeds. It's pumpkin season, fall's in the air, pumpkin spice lattes, pumpkin pie. Anyways, you get the point. Roasted pumpkin seeds adds a nice crunch and also adding a bit of salt to it. That's a nice salty, crunchy. Last but not least, number 4. Ever had a bowl of soup and you're like, oh, I wish I had a hunk of bread, or even if you had bread, you're like, this is amazing. Just soften up that last bit of soup at the bottom of the bowl. That's better than bread. Nothing. There's nothing better than bread as a garnish in a soup. But maybe a herb roasted crouton. Yeah, great. It's nice crusty bread that adds a crunch to it. I'm in. Let's do it. So by adding croutons to it, it adds that nice crunchy, salty, fatty, all the things you get from those 3 steps come in the croutons. So like most soups, this carrot soup is hearty and nutritious and just good and feeds the soul in those cold winter months. So if you like this content so far, please go ahead, like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll know what? I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day. You guys are kind of crooked. There we go. Ish. For 45 minutes at 350 degrees Celsius. Oh, 350 degrees Celsius, that's fucking hot. 1, 2, 3, 4.